What's up, jobbers, and welcome to the latest edition of the Jobber Knocker podcast. As always, Nestlemania alongside for the riders, a man that would absolutely go apeshit for Chelsea Green winning the women's championship. Let's do a salute. 1, 2, 3. It's Chelsea. JC.
Yeah, speaking of hot mess, that's been me lately. So let's go, baby. I was so pumped for that. Nestlemania, I think we should just right off the rip. Top 3 moments from Summerslam. Go.
Really? For me?
Yep.
In no particular order, Chelsea Green winning the women's championship.
Yep.
KO.
Well, Nestle said bye-bye, but he was going to say KO returning. Sounded like, which.
Second here. Oh, what happened?
But
I have no idea what happened.
He
there.
disappeared.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck happened there. So KO returning, Chelsea Green, and then let me see what else happened. I mean, the Gable thing was nice until the mug beer thing happened. My son, who's a crazy Danhausen guy, loved it. I'm gonna go off the rails here and say I'll put Nick Aldis at 3 for me personally.
Interesting. 1 for me was Chelsea. 2 was KO. 3 was Oba. Brock giving Oba the thing, but Gable would be 4.
Okay, fair enough. No,
some people might have liked something else that we'll talk about when we run through Summerslam. So
I know. So you want to do the jingle one more time before we're done?
Summerslam. And you know what, Nestlemania? We kicked off Saturday night with one of the, I think, bigger surprises of the weekend, and that is Liv Morgan retaining against Io Sky.
Listen, I thought Io for sure was going to win this. And it was great. I never get a chance to do this, and I had my kids watch wrestling for the first time with me live, and they watched Io Sky's match, and my daughter fell in love with Io Sky. It was the cutest thing I've ever seen. And she was happy that Io was there, but pissed when Liv won. I thought, okay, she's doing her job. But it was interesting to me because I thought, like, okay, this seems like a foregone conclusion. They're like, oh, she hasn't won in a year, all this shit. Nothing. And then they get the big nothing sauce. But of course, on Monday, we know why. But it took a while.
Yeah, but it was still interesting because you had Io beat her for the Queen of the Ring, which set up a rematch. But yeah, I mean, obviously now I'm going to get into my hope later in the show, which might have something to do with this. But that for sure is one of the big surprises. I don't think it was anything too out of left field there. But next up, Nestlemania. We had the 6-man tag where, Mr. got the pin on Jey Uso and along with Solo and Royce Keys. But Nestlemania, my favorite part of the match was Solo looking around. Yeet. He's just so awesome, dude. Like I'm so excited for his future. Key's future. And you know what, Nestlemania? I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm rooting for LA Knight, man. He's converted me the last 2 months. I think he's done a great job. I think we know what's going to happen, but it just is one of those things. It's like he got me back. He was a guy, he had lost me, but he got me back because I think he's been on fire the last 2 months. So more on that later.
I cracked up at the Solo Dolo doing the reverse run it back. I thought that was great. And of course, his brothers had to be in on it. So that's even funnier.
Yeah.
They wanted their little brother to do that. And then the other thing that I thought was great at the end of that match was that he wanted a hug from LA Knight. And he's like, not quite sure. Then when he gets it, they all fucking go nuts. And I was like,
big pop.
He's so much funnier. And he's like, the people have been giving out videos the whole week of SummerSlam showing how he is interacting with fans and how he's making the experience fun for them. And it's just so interesting to me that he had, like, we all knew he had something special based on what we know, but just, I'm so interested to see what he does next because it's just so much fun. Like he's just, the minute he's on the screen when he was a heel, we automatically said, always hits it out of the park. But now I'm getting to a point where when I see Solo, I'm thinking to myself, how ridiculous is this going to get? And I can't believe I'm even having that conversation. So. And it's just interesting. What does Danny say here? Apart from Roman calling fraud, which was why LA has okay. LA Knight has been great. We'll get to that in a moment, I'm sure there, Daniel. But you're right. You're right. It is.
Yeah. Next up, Nestlemania, we had Gunther beating Nick Aldis. This is exactly what it had to be.
I personally, love Nick Aldis, and I obviously love his family. I teared up a little bit at the end after he lost, and he got the standing ovation, and his kid was there. And I made a joke to somebody. I was like, wow, Mickey James looked more like a babysitter than the mother, but whatever, that's fine. But it was really interesting to see him go. There was a part of me that when I was watching this match, and again, I will hand to God, this is exactly my first thought here. And this is a Nestle Island comment, if there ever was one. There was a moment in that match, and I had to watch it again to make sure I was absolutely wrong. But when I first watched it, my knee-jerk reaction was, he's not as I don't know if he's fit for WWE when I was watching him because he was doing things that it looked like it didn't work. And then when I rewatched it, I was like, no, I was just in a wrong headspace to watch it. He did perfectly fine. So
Yeah, no, I thought it was exactly how it had to be. He had a good showing. Gunther got the win. We move
and he
on
got
with life.
Oasis. He got Oasis. Like I already said, what's the story,
Yeah.
Morning Glory? So, I mean, if he never wrestles again, in my opinion, I think that's a fine way to go out because honestly, a lot of people I've saw on the internet being like, he's 39 years old. He needs to be in there. And everybody in the main event scene's 40 something and and he's got a lot left in the tank, which again, totally agree with you. But then also like my thought was JC, the one thing I didn't like, I will say, it's not really necessarily heat. I just thought it was like lazy booking or lazy creative, which was like, they told him he had to sign over being a GM and then he gives his resignation. And then Triple H is like, just kidding. You can be a GM now again, which again, I was like, I'm not really in love.
I understood that because he entered the active roster. Like you can't compete, but it also like, this was it. This was his only match.
Right.
It's like, he's not going to wrestle again. It would have to be a special like scenario, but this is it for him. He got his moment in WWE, his full circuit moment, so to speak, because he talked about how he wasn't ready. And, obviously now he got to have his moment, got to do it with one of the best in between the ropes, got to have it a big time show, a big time venue. So yeah, but now we go back to your regularly scheduled program as a GM.
Oh, Daniel. Daniel, I can't, if you're watching, this is just for people who are watching. So, you're right. You talk about morning glory. I had a different type of morning.
Well, speaking of liquid from Body Parts, Fatal Influence got the win over the Bella Twins and Paige, and then the Bella Twins turned on Paige. So thank fucking God Paige doesn't have to team with Nikki now, since Brie mode is broken shoulder mode.
You know what's funny? No one saw this, I don't think, when it happened, but I think the broken shoulder happened because of JC Jane's somersault into the steps there, which, it ain't ballet, as we always say. But
as I always say,
whatever, fuck off. And then, I mean, you don't ever want to see anybody get hurt, but then I was just like, some of these people are just so snake bit. Like some of these situations, like the Vision, are so snake bit. It is what it is. So
it is funny because I've been slowly watching through Unreal, and I'm on the episode where they just go through all the Vision injuries. It is fucking hilarious how even backstage Bronson and Theory are like, dude, we're cursed. This group is cursed. We're cursed. And I haven't even got to the part of the episode where Logan Paul's now going to be hurt too. But it just like, it is funny to like just see it play through. But I mean, look at Nikki and Paige weren't even on last night. They're clearly, these are part-time things, but we'll do a little Nikki Paige program, it looks like. So
it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah. Next up, Nestlemania, the return of the great Randy Orton. After Punk and Cody have a nice banner, Orton returns, costs Cody, Punk retains, and we're on full steam ahead now with Orton Cody, and CM Punk has a different kind of opponent, which we'll talk about tonight too.
So I was interested in this matchup. Maybe in my head, I thought it was bigger. And this is my fault personally, because I was watching a SummerSlam lead up special and had Big E doing a workout with CM Punk and his trainer. And CM Punk had this whole promo about like, it's going to be basically the line of the thing was, it's going to be so good, you're going to want to ask to see it again, which I think in my mind is terrible when I hear that. Cause in my head, I think to myself, like, this better be epic. I hate that word, but like, as you know. But I watched this match and I thought it was
a really good match. It just had the dusty finish.
Yeah, 30 minutes, which again, when you get 30 minutes, it's hard to. Those guys did an old school, like 80s, early 90s wrestling match, which I didn't have a problem with. So I was fine. I didn't understand the hockey gear. I'm not a hockey head. I didn't know because they were in Minnesota. Do you know what that was about? It was apparently it was controversial, but somebody said something.
Didn't really notice, to tell you the truth.
It's fine. But yeah, I mean,
Punk loves hockey, dude.
Yeah. I will say this much about Randy. It's interesting because you would think that Randy was supposed to win at WrestleMania. Obviously, things didn't work out that way.
I don't know if he was, though, because he clear I think he was a little banged up, but like Randy's part-time too. So I don't, and it's one of those things like I can see Randy in the room being like, I'm not beating Cody. Why would I beat Cody? I'm putting over Cody. You know what I mean? So, and now like it's one of those things here in match 2, Randy will probably get a win, and then they'll have the payoff down the line, which is where Cody will go over, I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, I think especially when we saw how the card was starting to get laid out, it started to make a lot of sense that Randy Orton would be coming back, because it's like you can't have this be a main event, and plus Oba and Brock are in that main event, so this was an easy way, slide it into the co-main and just have Randy come out and RKO his way to Cost and Cody.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very interesting process. I guess we'll find out on Friday what really is going to happen here. But I'm curious your thoughts, because does it feel like this whole thing is going to be Cody not in the title picture for the foreseeable future?
Foreseeable future is hard to say, but I think it's definitely like they're comfortable with Punk. I think that's why they moved him to SmackDown, because they're like, if Cody's not going to be the champion, we need one of our other top guys. They're obviously comfortable with Roman on Raw. So I think it's like this is finally the right opportunity for them, since Roman is pretty active, that they can be like, you know what, we can mix in some other guys here, let Punk have a little run, and then who knows when Cody will get back in the mix eventually, but him and Randy doesn't need a title. That's easy. So it just like it makes a lot of sense to me.
Okay. Finally, the match of the evening there on night one, as Obafemi makes quick work. I say quick work, probably one of the longer Brock Lesnar.
It was 13 minutes. Yeah.
It was 11 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah. I loved it. It's exactly what it had to be. I mean, I mean, you knew it was going to be violent. You knew it wasn't going to be a fucking Matt Classic because of how violent it was, but I thought they accomplished what they wanted to accomplish when they made the decision that, yeah, we're hot-shotting Obafemi right to Brock Lesnar, and they found a way to make it last as long as it did and make it last good. It was like, our goal is to say goodbye to Brock Lesnar, but tell everyone that Obafemi, he is at the top of the board going forward, and you have Brock Lesnar saying that he is. There ain't a better guy to give a recommendation than Brock Lesnar, especially to a dude that big and that much of an ass kicker. Like, if you make Brock a believer, you're the real deal. So I think this accomplished everything they needed to accomplish. We can talk about Monday when we get to Monday. I thought that was a good decision because I was a little worried. It was like the same thing when Gunther got all his steam. It's like, well, if Oba doesn't go right for a title, how do you make it interesting? But we'll see how it plays out. But I think this is exactly what it had to be. It's passing of the torch.
Well, the one thing I've noticed about the WWE in the last, I don't know, I'll say handful of years, when they've spaced out the not having a December show, and the last thing we have is War Games, which is kind of a non-negotiable.
Yeah, but they do the New Year's as like a big thing now.
No, I know that, but like, I feel like once you get over the hump of War Games, they don't really have to have Obafemi do anything to the, like, I could see Oba winning the Rumble and then going the traditional.
It feels like he's winning the Rumble and beating.
You know what I mean? You can understand that.
That's what I would do if I were them.
Joe saying 12 minutes inside Hell in a Cell, and the cell wasn't used once. So,
I mean, how do you want it to be used? You want them to throw each other into it? No one climbed. They're not. These two motherfuckers aren't climbing up it.
That was the one thing I was like, you know what? That'd be fucking dope if that.
Yeah,
happened.
but no fucking way.
No, I know, but like in my head, I'm like fantasy booking.
Could they've used the cage a little more? Sure, but it's like the difference between a Hell in a Cell and a cage is like you can still get around in a Hell in a Cell. It's not as constricting as a cage is. So I think it's more of just like the visual and the idea of it being more violent. But yeah, I mean, obviously you could always do more, but when you have these two behemoths slapping meat, it's hard to make it much more violent no matter what you do. So
I will say this much. There was a point in which when they ripped up the mats, you saw the boards and everything. My immediate thought was, okay, cool. And then he does the taker spot with the tombstone. And then as he, kicks out, it's like all these things, before it's the end. And when he does the fall from grace, kind of like power bomb looking thing, and he didn't land, like my brain was like, was he supposed to land on the wood? Like it made it look like it was like, maybe he was taking it easy on him. I don't know. But it was, the ending of it didn't feel very definitive when I watched it. That was my only like small critique as a fan. I was kind of hoping it would have been like boards, boom, 1, 2, 3. But it is what it is. No big deal. Oba obviously launched in the fucking stratosphere, so it's a big deal. And now he's got, he can pick whatever he wants to do. And I think that's
they picked for him, and I think it's fascinating. We're gonna get to that when we get into the next segment. But Nestlemania, night one was solid. I think everyone would agree that night two was better because of the big moments it had. But I thought honestly, I was talking with our boy Cap today. I thought SummerSlam was exactly what it had to be. It was a lot of safe decisions, but I think it's what WWE needed because they've been so ice cold, but they found a way to make a lot of people happy, especially once we get into this night two talk, that I think overall was a pretty good weekend.
Yeah, it's funny. I had a text with my brother because I could only see him on one night, and he said to me, "Oh, it's too bad we can't watch on Saturday. It's a better card." And I was like, I tend to agree based on the paper, but then you look at what actually transpired on Sunday.
Yeah, the results on Sunday, it's like, okay, no, yeah.
Wild.
Yeah,
wild.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as we get into night two, we've got, it's supposed to start out as Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn for the number one contender.
Which on paper, like, yeah, that's a nice little, like, jerk-off wrestling fest. But what do you do in Nestlemania? You throw in Gunther, who deserves it, and you disappoint everyone. But then you do what everyone hoped you were doing anyways. Out comes KO, baby. And this match was really good.
It was. And the one thing I mean, I'm not trying to glance over the match, but like everybody that I was watching with like had their thoughts while we were watching. And the one thing I kept saying was this is perfect for me because as a fan, it's like, okay, Sammy gets mad. It adds to his character. Finn Balor's protected because he's not going to be in the problem. And he's, again, still on that journey. Gunther's still pissed off at Aldis, even though Triple H asked. So it's like, it checks all the boxes in terms of character development for those three people. And then Kevin Owens gets to step in and go against CM Punk. So which I was like, those promos alone will be,
oh yeah,
my goodness. So obviously I don't think I would be shocked if Kevin Owens won against CM Punk. We can talk about that later, but man, I think the lead up will be a lot of fun because there's a lot of personal animosity with those two specifically because KO is a friend of the Young Bucks. That'll be one thing. Another thing is that, CM Punk all those years ago, 20 years ago, said, stop wrestling in a t-shirt, fat ass. So, I mean, there's going to be some shit that's going to come up. So,
it'll be good promos. And I think it's depending what they do with Money in the Bank, KO could win and his boy Sammy could cash in on him. There's all sorts of scenarios, right? Because we assume this match will take place at Money in the Bank, but yeah, we'll see. But I think this was a fun surprise. I think obviously the word got out that he might have been cleared recently. I think he said he was 2 weeks ago or something. So, but yeah, this is a great way to kick off the show. And Nestlemania next up, probably the biggest surprise to me of the weekend, and that was my boy Baron Corbin pulling the upset and doing exactly what he said he was going to do, whooping that trick and becoming a 2-time United States champion.
I am so happy that Baron Corbin won because I hate that fucking championship.
Like, he's gonna change that so fast.
I fucking hate it.
Like the fur.
I hate the fur. It looks like shag carpet. Like, I don't fucking get it. Like, it looks fucking terrible. It's not even like
it matches Trick's apparel.
No, I understand what they're trying to do, but they're trying way too hard for that kind of stuff. So when I was looking at it, I'm like, I'm not a baby.
You're a baby.
No, you're a baby.
Oh, good comeback.
Anyway, Baron Corbin wins.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating to me because we thought he would just be there. I mean, obviously it's better for Trick to chase, but my question is now Trick probably is going to be on to bigger, better things. Maybe Money in the Bank briefcase.
Well, I think this is an easy time to do it because I don't want to say Trick outgrew the U.S. title, but he's ready for prime time. And I think they could have him continue to defend this, but he's already ran through the whole mid card on SmackDown. He's already faced Mello and Ricky Saints and all these guys. He's beaten all of them. So it's time for Trick to level up opponent wise, and he doesn't need the U.S. title to do that. And then whereas Corbin's a guy who the guys I just mentioned, it'll do all those guys a lot of good to work with Baron Corbin because he's great with those type of guys. I mean, I can't wait to see him versus Phoenix, him versus Mello again. They had Banger feuds in NXT. So it's just there's a lot of possibilities there. And Corbin's the man. So
understandable.
Next up, Nestlemania, my moment of the weekend, the ladder match. The minute I knew she was winning was when Michin and B-Fab came out. I'm like, they're going to tease it here, disappoint it, and then they're going to bring it back, and she's actually going to win it. Because I remember when they started to put this together, I was like, yeah, Charlotte and Jade will probably cancel each other out, but I talked myself into Charlotte winning. But I love that they pulled the trigger on Chelsea here because this is the perfect way to do it. Because we always talked about Money in the Bank could be whatever, but it's like, no, this almost works better because obviously Rhea's going to come back and fucking take that thing back. But it's just like you're giving Chelsea a run in a spot that she deserves. She might never get it again, but she's definitely someone who deserves a chance because she is just an absolute fucking stud. So I thought they did a great job booking this match. And obviously that moment, it's one of those moments you'll just remember because it was fucking awesome.
I look at it this way. If you look at the crowd reaction, that tells you everything you need to know. And with that
exactly. Pop don't lie.
30,000 going absolutely bonkers for her. I just thought, what a great moment for her. Obviously, her husband is excited. Her family's excited. But it was just one of those things where I was like, again, when you take a flyer on somebody like her, it's just so great. And then the post show saying she dedicates her win to Michael Hayes.
Michael Hayes. That was
fucking
call
great.
Back to season, whatever of Unreal it was.
Yeah, I just think that's hilarious. You know what I mean? It's perfect. So it all works out in the end. It really does. And so I was super excited because the rest of the matches was just fucking car wreck after car wreck.
It was a ladder match, which we love.
Right. And then so to see her win was just the fucking cherry on top. So I don't even care if it lasts a day. I really don't.
Yeah, no, if she loses on Friday, whatever. I don't care. The moment was worth it, It is what it is. But next up, Nestlemania, we have the Human Monies on a Pole match. Definitely the thing that could have been the most cringe, but I will say Nestlemania. My favorite part of this match was fucking JD McDonough just strong arming all the mini houses. It's just so funny because we know how tiny JD is, but it must have been so fun for him to be like the Brock Lesnar out there. It was just so fucking good. He was hamming it up. I was fucking dying. The rest of the match is about what I expected. Ridiculous. Danhausen gets the win, but JD and the mini houses were the MVPs to me.
I watched this twice, and once with everybody was watching, and then my son begged to watch this match because he's a big Danhausen fan, big Danhausen, and he sat there. And to watch through a 6-year-old's eyes, like wrestling with Danhausen, it's perfect. Like I have such an appreciation for the character watching what children think of him, because I was watching with my son and his grandfather, and he was laughing about the JD stuff too. He was like, "Look at that fucking body slam! Look at that choke slam!" And I think Wade Barrett or Michael Cole made a comment saying, "Now he feels like a real man for once." And he's like, "Everybody else is so much taller than bigger than him," and all that shit. Like, I find, yeah, there it is. Cole having a line about JD being a giant in the ring.
Yeah,
like, I fucking the whole thing was great, but I mean, the Joe Hendry stuff is whatever. The fucking curse thing is fine.
Yeah.
It's just like, it is what it is. It's just like, I think we've talked about this, that I don't think Danhausen can ever really have a bad segment other than the one we saw on Monday, because it was what it was. But I think he can bounce back because he's a goof. Like it just works. So I don't know where we go with him, but I'm sure they'll find something stupid.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Eventually the Miz and Kit thing will resurface. So they'll find something. But next up, Nestlemania, one of the other moments of the weekend, Chad Gable and his fucking stupid entrance finally wins singles gold. He taps out Penta. Honestly, I will say, I enjoy celebrations, but this one was so over the top. And you're right. Like, I don't know if you said it on the podcast or before the podcast, the fucking mug root beer thing. I was just like, oh my God.
It ruined the moment for me. I was like, get the fuck out of here. It kind of
did.
Like it was one of those things where it was like, I know we needed to squeeze in a sponsor here, and that's fine. But like, you could have picked any other fucking moment. Like Danhausen with the mug dog would have been fucking funnier and fine. But like, man, like it took me the wind out of the sails because it was an emotional moment. And then it's just like, here's the fucking mug guy. Okay. And I will say this much. My brother smartened me up. I don't know if he's playing with me right now, so I might look like an idiot either way. So I was doing the whole fucking clap thing as like a joke and explaining. Yeah. He goes, you know, that's a Minnesota Vikings thing, right? Like they do that in the fucking
crowd. It's the skull.
The skull.
Skull.
Yeah.
Skull.
That's what he was saying.
I just think the theme music's so fucking corny.
Ball.
It's, yeah.
It just sounds, you know what it sounds like?
The Alpha theme was just so good.
Right. You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like the creators of South Park just decided to make a parody of wrestling songs. And that's, I'm on a free ride.
It's literally what it sounds. It sounds like, honestly, they just said to AI, make some fucking free ride knockoff for fucking a short white guy named Shorty G and have him so we can clap or something.
I'm on a free ride.
Yeah.
Skull. Yeah. Again, if they're in Minnesota and they're all going skull, that's fine. But like, they're not. They're doing
we're on the same page. Ray doesn't like this. He thinks it's the greatest entrance ever, but I think the entrance is corny as fuck.
You know what I realized though, very quickly, as I've said multiple times on this podcast, stupid people, they see stupid, they do stupid. So at the end of the night, everybody on fucking Monday is doing
well, y'all a bunch of puppets. Mark Henry said it. We're all a bunch of puppets.
Yeah,
what?
So it worked out for them, so whatever. It's fine. But I'm glad he got his moment.
Absolutely.
I just wish the mug thing didn't happen.
Yeah. Next up, Nestlemania, we go to the main event of Sunday, the AEW main event of SummerSlam between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns gets the definitive win because he's always been the alpha, and Seth's always been the beta, and we are still clapping. Need to stop clapping. But yeah, we expected Roman to win. He won. It was a non-match. There was a lot of falsies, but yeah, it was a typical AEW main event.
Our boy Daniel, who might still be here, was writing about it being a masterclass in wrestling.
A lot of people agree with that.
I will say I popped for the Shield entrance and then the fucking fire.
I did like the Shield entrance
because here's the thing. As much shit as we give Seth Rollins on this program, I will say the colorful outfits to me are my favorite part of Seth Rollins.
Oh, yeah.
So when he came back and he was like this vigilante or black everything, like shirt, tie, trench coat thing, I was like, I get it, but I was really looking forward to the fucking weird outfits. And then he came back with a weird outfit, and I was like, all right. And he still had like a shield thing. So like, I think Dom said it. He must have tagged us. He said they really take care of the Shield storyline. Like
They always
there's
have.
one
Yeah.
thing they protect that particular story.
Well,
So
that
they,
was their bread and butter for so long. Like it's still one of the like that run was an all-time run in WWE. And all three of those guys like became world champions so fast. Like, and look, we like to shit on Moxley, but he's had a hell of a career. Like all three of these guys have, because they're just like they've always been taken care of no matter where they are, and they deserve it. That's why they're in those positions.
Danny's saying it was perfect, everything it needed to be. I'm curious your thoughts in the chat, or JC. What went through your mind when they finally kind of squashed it and had the mask and the fist bump at the end? Like, was that satisfying? Like, because my brain went to, is this really the last time we're gonna see this? Like the other part in my head was, would they ever team up? Like, or is this like, we don't know?
I would say a team up is a lot more likely than them going against each other. I mean, I think it's just one of those, like, they're obviously both, like, a lot of the guys in the main event of WWE right now, like, we're seeing a transition slowly. Like, you're looking at Roman, Seth, Cody, Punk, those four guys in particular, like, even like Randy Orton, like all the, like, they're older. They're not going to be there forever. And I think Cody and Roman and Seth have been guys that, like, have said, like, we're not going to do this forever when we're old. Like, I mean, Cody says a couple years left. I feel Roman, I would be surprised if he did a couple more years beyond anything like that. And then Seth's body has been giving him problems the last couple of years just because of the way he goes, like pedal to the metal. Like it's going to be a lot harder. And I'm assuming here he might take a little break because that's kind of what it felt like. But so, yeah, it really could be the end for these two guys. So I think it was a nice closing to that book, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be a Saudi match where fucking all three members of the Shield are going to face some young trio, because yeah, Dean Ambrose will be back at some point. Don't you worry about that.
Even though Dean Ambrose has been quoted that I'd rather work at McDonald's than go back to the WWE.
Yeah, well, a lot of people say shit like that in Nestlemania, and then guess what happens? Money talks, baby.
I'm just saying.
Here comes the money.
The mask was a nod to retribution.
I see what Joe's comment there. He said, I didn't like the dialogue during the match. The physicality was on point, but the in-ring commentary took me out of it. That was something that I didn't love either. I mean, I'll be honest, like this match, it was a little long for me. A lot of these matches can be. That's why I make the joke about it being an AEW main event and then the million falsy thing, whatever. But yeah, I mean, Roman always toes that line where sometimes that type of stuff, when he does it, it's really good, but sometimes it's really fucking corny. I think it just depends on the opponent. I think with Seth, it doesn't always come off as genuine or as natural. So I think that's definitely a fair comment. Because look at, like, I didn't put this as one of my favorite moments. I didn't list it as one of my favorite matches, but again, like that doesn't mean it wasn't good, because there were a lot of people that really liked it. But I mean, I think this was what it needed to be, to what Danny said. I didn't love the Kumbaya after as much, but if this truly is like the last time, it's like in wrestling, they always work it out. Like it's part of how it is. So if it truly is, then yeah, it was time to work it out.
I do feel that as I was watching that match, it did feel a little exhausting. Like I get it's the main
event. It was
event,
long.
And I think just attention spans are different these days. But I will say, I can appreciate what Roman Reigns was doing by saying, like, you know, it's the two of us at the top for as long as it's been and all that. Like, I get that. But I also feel like it's weird to me because, like, the whole lead up was like, you're number two, you're number two, you're number two, you're never gonna be as good as me. And then
which he finished second once again.
He beats him and he's like, nah, it's always been him and I at the top. And I'm like, well, Jesus Christ. Like,
I mean, he was right until Cody and Punk came back. Like, yeah, it was definitively those two. Then Cody and Punk came back and they're like, okay, sit down, Seth. Like, yeah, but that's just how it goes.
Right. It's true. No, you're right. It's true. Overall, night 2 better than night 1, obviously.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think
it was a great SummerSlam. I think it was exactly what they needed, because look at it. We've come on this program. I think people in general have said it hasn't been good since WrestleMania. I've said I think the last like month or two it's gotten better, and I think this show reflected that. And we're going to get into Monday in a moment. And I think they did enough things moving forward where it's like, okay, there's some things to get excited about.
All right, in the shine, here we go.
Always in the shine, Nestlemania. Where do we want to start? I want to start. I said it earlier. L.A. Knight. Yeah. He's not going to win. It's going to be another tease. But instead of putting him in Money in the Bank again and letting everyone down, let him have the match at Money in the Bank. I mean, if he won, man, what a fucking swerve that would be. Even if he held it for a couple months and then Roman got it back. But it's just like I think he's been hitting on all cylinders the last 2 months. We like to shit on him on this program for sure. But I think he found a nice rhythm right now. He's been a guy that has literally been feuding with the Bloodline for like 4 years. They made a point that he was the one that pinned Jey Uso. But obviously the stuff out there was great. Roman Reigns being fucking corny as fuck, being like, oh, I'm a rich guy. I'm going to alienate everyone, being like, I can afford a watch and you can't. Whereas LA Knight's the everyman, which is what they're going for because he is. But what I loved even more than that in-ring stuff of LA Knight cooking him was the backstage where he tells the Usos and Jacob to leave him alone. And LA Knight comes over. Yeah, Daddy said, leave me alone. I'm just fucking dead. Because he's just taunting Jey Uso. And I'm like, I don't know. That to me, I thought was so fucking funny because it just like LA Knight's good at he's so good at certain things. And those type of things he fucking crushes. So we'll see how it goes. They're going to have a match. It's going to be a safe fucking match between these two. But I just think it's LA Knight. We're getting to the point we've talked about where it's now or never. But I don't know if I think he's actually beaten Roman. So it might be a never. But you at least gotta put it out there because he's the guy I think that deserves the shot the most right now on that show.
I tend to agree with you. I thought he was very entertaining on Monday. I do think he deserves something, but
yeah,
I think they missed the moment. And here's the thing that I think of. I think as fans, we wanted to see it happen because we only see what we see on the television screen or what we being told in the dirties or whatever. But there's got to be something that they know about him that we don't. That makes me feel
I think it's just like he's one of those teeter-totter guys where it's like, yeah, you could, but it's also just like has to be timing.
I feel like he's never gonna get it. Like I'm more convinced now because I'm thinking to myself, Roman Reigns is not gonna have some fucking lame Money in the Bank cash in. Like I don't see that happening.
Well, this is the other part is that LA Knight can win and someone can cash them immediately. Like we just saw it with Sami Zayn. He had the title for what, 8 days?
Yeah.
But they did the moment. It was a great moment. Like maybe it is. Maybe it's LA Knight gets the win, and then whoever wins Money in the Bank cashes in on him, whether it's then or pretty soon. He has a short. Because look at after Money in the Bank, Roman probably does War Games, but besides that, he's not going to be around a lot to the Rumble. So if you want to take it off for a couple months and he comes back and gets it back, maybe Jacob. It wins Money in the Bank. Maybe Jacob cashes in on LA Knight. And then, God, wouldn't you hate this? It's after 2 months, Jacob just hands Roman the title back. Oh, my God, that'd be great. People would fucking hate it. Oh, I kind of like that. It'd be so bad.
No, but you're just like to gaslight the internet.
Oh, yeah, but no, but you could see Jacob could easily be a guy to win Money in the Bank. And he could cash in on LA Knight. And they do a little feud for a few months. And Daddy Roman comes back. And somehow he gets that title. You know what I mean? So they could do it. I don't think they will. I think Roman's just going to hold it, but it just it's one of those things where they have to at least do it because right now he deserves a shot for sure.
I mean, this definitely feels more like the Roman Reigns redemption tour. Like every time you couldn't beat somebody else, now he's just going to beat everybody by himself now.
Yeah.
Here's my, this isn't a heat.
Which I don't hate, by the way.
No, I understand.
He needs it because I think he's been coddled for too long.
Well, here's my thing, right? And again, I'm sure you can come up with a brilliant idea right off the rip here, JC. But for me, when I'm watching this as a fan, so we get everybody together in the bloodline, but all the storylines have to be nobody touches him. I'm doing this on my own, which I get in terms of I got to do this on my own. But what's the point of having the bloodline right now? They just.
Well, no, I think the point is they couldn't handle business. They fucked up, and that's why. But then to end Raw. Jacob handled business by taking out Keys, so he's back in the good graces. Part of the storyline is the dissension between the Usos and Fatu and how Roman's going to choose Jacob because the Usos are failing. Because I think it's to be an easy way to write Jimmy off TV and get Jay back as a babyface. Because I think you're right. I think it's one of those Roman is going to beat LA Knight. Roman is going to beat Solo. Roman is probably going to beat Jay on a turn. And then Obafemi wins the Rumble and fucking steamrolls Roman. And not only does he get the Brock aura, he gets the Roman aura, and he becomes like the ultimate fucking Gauntlet Thanos moment where it's like, I just fucking unlocked 2 of the biggest stars ever, and they're going in my thing here, and I'm fucking here, baby.
No, I mean, I don't hate that.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's bad. Like, I don't, because I think like what you said, because that's how I had the same feeling with the Seth Rollins thing. And then seeing the LA Knight, I'm like, Roman kind of needs this, because what were we talking about before? Like, it just like, it's the same old shit. It's boring. It's like whatever. But you have Roman going out there by himself and beating and exercising like all the demons of when he was cheating to win all those main events and actually doing it the real way. Like, it solidifies him as an all, like he already is there, but it just like fully solidifies him. Like, yeah, all-time great. But then also like you can pass on his aura to the next guy, which is a guy who just received a lot of aura. So it just like, because I just said it, like all these main event guys, like they're in the twilights, man. So that's why you're going to see the Obas. You're going to see the Tricks. You're going to see these guys getting that chance, because timing wise, they're coming up at the right time to take that fucking baton. So we'll see.
Anything else you thought was super positive?
I just mentioned his name, Oba promo. It was fine, like whatever, but obviously the stare down with Braun, because the reason why I like it is, yeah, Braun's probably going to end up losing, but Oba obviously needs someone legit to fight. This is a fucking big time match. It's a future versus future match, but also like Braun's in a fucking stupid tag team with Austin Theory. Do we want to see him facing Otis and Cesaro every week? No. If he's feuding with Obafemi, makes him feel important again, even if he gets knocked down. But it's also like you have the Paul Heyman factor, where it's like, Paul could either side with Braun or could do what he always does. He could turn on Braun and side with Oba. So it just like I thought this was one of the more interesting table set pieces they did here for the next few months, where it's like, okay, I'm fascinated, not only because of the meat matchup, but because of the little bit of storyline we have here, the future versus future, the Paul Heyman factor, that I was like, okay, I think Triple H is getting his ball back, because these are the type of things where it's like he does better than anyone. And I felt on Monday watching the show with all these little things, I'm like, all right, I think he's in his groove again. So I was excited for this.
I did like the line backstage, because again, I thought the promo with Oba was very nothing sauce. Like it didn't.
Yeah, it was typical I won promo.
Yeah, like there's my yard now. And that basically was what it was.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I have to show you a meme that somebody photoshopped with his outfit on Monday. It was
that outfit was ridiculous.
It was fun, but it was.
Well, it's like a cultural thing. He's done it before.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It's not a joke about the outfit at all or his culture.
Yeah,
I just have to show you the meme. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so the other thing that I thought of too is just, so the whole thing is Heyman is kind of there as like, oh, like thought you were his best friend now. Like that's your new boy. You know where he is. Which was a really interesting thing, because I felt like for the longest time, you know, Braun's been sitting there swimming, but I couldn't help myself and think to myself, I know this isn't gonna happen, but why can't we live in a world where even Braun Breaker gets just a small squeaker by him? Maybe something fucking happens, and like, because is that too much damage after beating Brock Lesnar?
No, because there's ways to do it. Like you have Paul Heyman, you have Austin Theory, like. You know, like it's just like they have all these things, but I am interested to see. But I think it's a nice bridge for Oba to get us to the Rumble, and that way, if you do War Games with the Vision involved or something, like Oba can be a part of that. Fucking run rampant. So they got possibilities.
Yeah, it's fine. It'll be all the newbies. It'll be Trick, Oba, and Javon in one side of the cage. You know, that'll be what it was. You know, but now versus the oldie people. Oh, whatever. Anything else you thought was positive?
I thought we had 2 banner matches. We won't talk about the aftermaths because we might talk about them later in the show, but I really enjoyed Javon and Ethan Page, as I always do. And I involved Roxanne and Soul before the nonsense started. But I thought Raw was a really good show overall. But yeah, like I said, the other things that happened, we'll probably hit on in a little bit.
We'll have a good wrestling match. That's all I'll say about that.
Yep.
Anything else? Get him off my TV, get him off my TV, get him off my TV. Now, we can't really talk about things that are on Smackdown, I feel like.
I had my only heat this week is from Smackdown.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Lash Legend squash Julia. What are we doing?
Oh yes. Sorry.
What are we doing? Yeah. Like, what the fuck was that? That was so unnecessary. Like, I'm sure things ran long, but like what? What are we doing? You couldn't give him 5 minutes? Give him 2?
Well, especially because
they've been started pushing Julia again. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
She's exactly where she's supposed to be, unfortunately.
That's not true, and you know it. You've already Nestle cursed her once. Nestle cursed her again, baby. Maybe she'll beat
Listen,
Chelsea.
maybe she wins Money in the Bank. You'll be fine and stop your bitching. All right?
I doubt it.
I doubt it. I will say this much: Lash is awful. Here's the thing: I don't think Lash is awful.
You used to think Lash is awful.
I know, but the more I've watched her, the more I've thought to myself,
she's gotten a lot better.
Not the worst person, but the thing is like, I don't think she really knows how. Like, as a fan, this is just my perspective. I think she's got the character down pat, but I don't think she feels comfortable in her own skin on how to use her size properly during the wrestling match. That's what it screams like to me. Like, I don't see the confidence in her as a wrestler. I see the confidence in the character, which might be fine. She'll be okay, but I don't think she's that awful. So
I think she's much improved. I mean, she's been there long enough, but I
hope Trick Williams doesn't watch this channel.
You'll get your ass whooped.
He'll bitch slap me and miss because that's what he does.
That's true.
He never makes contact. It's fine.
Yeah, that's the only heat I have. What do you have for heat?
Let's see. There's one thing that I thought was kind of fucking weird, I think, which was let me see if I can find it. It was more of the Tozawa thing. I think that threw me off. That Tozawa came back out, but whatever. I mean,
Otis is hurt. They had to give him a little, and honestly, Tozawa beating up Austin Theory, like, it's not that unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know. It is weird to me. Like, this whole thing is kind of fucking weird, but whatever. It wasn't really that bad this week. I thought this week was really well done for the most part, especially SummerSlam. So
I think like I said, I think Raw was good. We'll see what SmackDown's like, but should we get hopeful?
Sure.
Glorious, you're my only hope. I teased it earlier. We're talking Liv Morgan. She retained her title, so that means Nestlemania. I can hope for Roxanne. Liv still finds a way to not give her enough credit in all her promos. Obviously, we know that breakaway's coming. When it does, it's going to launch Roxy. She needs to be the one to beat Liv. And the way you do it is you have Roxanne win Money in the Bank because if Raquel has a title. So that's what's the big indicator to me is Raquel win a title. It's like, well, you can give Roxy Money in the Bank now. And she can carry it around for a bit. And they'll be like, oh, she's going to do it on Chelsea. And then if it's Rhea back. But then the moment will be whenever they decide to do it, when she cashes in on Liv. Like, it makes so much sense. It's what Money in the Bank is for. Roxanne's the type of superstar that can benefit from it. You immediately, you turn her baby face, and we're off to the races, baby. So hashtag JC knows, hashtag JC hopes come true. Sometimes it's just easy, baby.
I actually had the same hope written down. So, just beat me to it. It's fine. I was thinking about this because it's something we didn't bring up, and I wanted to bring this up. On SmackDown, they had a backstage segment, which I thought was great. And here's my hope here. Watching the Sons of Haku and watching Haku and what they did to the tag teams after their match, I thought was fantastic. My hope is that Haku can stick around long enough to give them, because there's this thing that a lot of people may or may not know about Haku. He's been labeled by everybody by the lore of wrestling, not necessarily in ring, but outside of the ring, being one of the straight up badasses of the world, hurting people in bars, all that stuff. Lending his credibility to his sons and making them tag champions is going to be great. But I want to see Haku in a way that still feels very violent, or at least feels very threatening, because the one thing I've noticed about the MFTs, they've kind of just felt like, like that other faction. Yeah. So my hope is that we can actually take, the Tama Tonga, and the Tala Tonga, seriously with Haku. I would love to see, I don't think Haku can wrestle again, but man, just having him there, I think, lends so much credibility. So that's my hope, is that we can finally sit there and go, maybe this is the start of something where everybody believes in the tag team wrestling. But I think Haku needs to be front and center every single time you see them, because if you don't see them with their father, I feel like it's a miss, because they're just going to look very mid. So my hope is to continue to have Haku there for as long as possible.
They're with Solo for a reason. They need them. If they're just by themselves, they're fine. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Nestlemania, we go to the comeback. I mean, everyone knows where I'm going. Stephanie's back. It's about fucking time. Been waiting way too long to have her back. Obviously, Becky returned in the segment as well, and was saying, "Oh, I'm not coming for your title, Raquel. I'm coming for yours, Liv." And then I just love on the ramp the way they did it, where the fire does and Liv jumps, and out comes Stephanie. and we get the brawl, and then we get the stare down with Stephanie and Becky. It's just like, I think people have forgotten how good Stephanie is. I'm excited to have her back. She's a fucking stud. I'm ready to watch some devil kisses. And yeah, it'll be a fun. It's definitely fun to see her back because it feels like she's probably been ready for a while, and they've been waiting for the moment, and we got it.
I will say we didn't talk about this, and this is where probably the best way to go is. So Stephanie Vaquer, fantastic to see her back. She's had a lot of work done, I'm sure, on her knee. I think she said in the Unreal or something, or her body gave out on her. It was take your time. Great to have her back. Lit a fire under Liv, which was great. I didn't understand the two things. Didn't understand the barbed wire around the IC title for Raquel Rodriguez, whatever. I know they're trying to make a badass out of her, but I thought it looked more like the hardcore title, but whatever. The other thing was the Becky Lynch thing. Like all of a sudden she shows up. And this is the one critique I would have as a fan about, and I know they're going to be like, well, it's different now because we're in a different generation and you're just not pivoting with us. But like Becky did a great job as a heel. She had a great way of incentivizing us to watch as fans and accentuating somebody's positives and hiding their negatives, especially like Maxine and other people. And I thought she did a great job taking a beating, but it was just, I don't know what it is. It's just not great for me. Like I'm not a huge fan of the idea of Becky supposedly a babyface. Maybe.
I mean, she was still the stare down with Stephanie. I think Becky's just one of those characters where like it's gonna be flippy floppy baby heel, like whenever it just fits, because she's getting cheered no matter what.
Mm-hmm. But Kevin says here that you guys only like Vaquer because of Devil's Kiss. Without that, who cares?
I liked her before she ever even did that move, dude. She's fucking a fantastic wrestler.
She is a great wrestler.
She came on the map when she wrestled Mercedes in AEW, and I think everyone became a fan of her, and that's why she got signed to WWE. And she was awesome in NXT. And the Devil's Kiss, like that only really blew up because of Booker T, and that was a little bit in her NXT run. So no, she's awesome. She's an absolute stud. Her story's fantastic, as kind of getting highlighted on Unreal a little bit. And man, I'm a sucker for accents, so of course I'm digging that too.
I was gonna give Becky Lynch my comeback, but then I saw one person, which man, you won't say he's SWA. Was it
SAWFT soft?
Man, I when I saw Big Cass, I was like, he looks like a fucking $1,000,000. He when I saw him beat up Javon, I was like, this is gonna be fun. I actually, when I was watching AEW and he was Big Bill and he was doing the apple tree thing and like he's got great comedic timing. I know that's probably not what they want him to do. When I saw him beat up Javon on Monday, I kept thinking to myself, man, he was in AEW for years. And all he was a sidekick. And again, maybe he never reaches the mountain here.
He won't, but he's definitely a guy that can be used. But I can tell you with him, like he started to pick up steam. They stuck him with Jericho, and I fast forwarded because I can't watch Jericho.
He was the Jericho Vortex.
And Jericho literally ruined his career. Is the other guy even in AEW anymore? The other guy that was with him?
Bad Apple? Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, did he do anything?
Not that
clearly not, because Jericho fucking kills careers. Career killer, Chris Jericho.
I don't care what happens with Big Cass. I just think it would be interesting because, like, again, the one thing I am noticing is there's a lot of bodies and their TV time is getting shorter and shorter.
Well, I think it's one like every year they clean out because the contracts come up, but it's like that just means you can hire more people. That's how business works. Yeah. So it's like you're gonna always have that. Like, you're out with a few, but then you can bring in the ease, and then who knows? Next cycle, Big Cass might be out, but you never know.
Overall, there it is.
Yeah.
Big finish.
Big finish. I saw nothing really advertised. It's just the obvious stuff. Mm-hmm. Fallout from SummerSlam on Smackdown. Raw, I'm sure they'll announce stuff during the week. But Nestlemania, you probably want to talk about AEW.
Well, since you asked, I will give you AEW.
I didn't.
You did. You were bated with breath. You were ready to go. Everybody's very excited because in Grand Slam Mexico on Wednesday, we are going to see the international title is Kyle Fletcher, who has been pegged on the internet as a real asshole, apparently. Taking on everyone's favorite stupid French Canadian, Speedball Mike Bailey. And Speedball has earned his shot, folks, so he's going to take it in Arena Mexico. If you saw this on paper, if you saw this in a graphic, you'd go, who the fuck's winning this one? Kyle Fletcher. But, Daddy likes to play with different people, so here we're going to do,
I feel like they might have Fletcher go for something bigger at All In, so maybe he does take an L here.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Meh.
And he may be getting pegged on the internet, but he's pegging Sky Blue, so his life's pretty good.
Anyway, another sexual reference for Josh. Let's see.
Who?
Personia takes on Chris Statlander.
Persephone.
Whatever. I'm not great at
Just call her
pronunciation.
Personia.
Personia.
Persephone.
Persephone. Then why don't they just spell it like Stephanie? Persephone.
Her name is Persephone.
Personifa.
Oh
I can't.
God.
We should add her.
Who's she fighting?
Chris Stat.
Oh,
But
go
here's my
Persephone.
thing. My thing is Persephone should be in the fucking Jobber Knocker fucking awards so that Mike Downing can have a ball pronunciating this one. All right, just cut.
We'll find it. We'll find a category for
Jobber
her.
of the year.
Maybe tag team of the year because we don't have many.
Oh my God, here we go. 8-man tag. Get ready for this one. I just want to see your face when I say this. Cope and Cage and the Young Bucks taking on
The Don Callis family.
the Death Riders.
Even worse.
8-man tag.
You know what I'm gonna do
Fucking
during this match? Not watch it.
Hmm.
Trash.
Yeah. We also have a random World Trios title match. Okay, sorry, I forgot that. The Demand taking on Hangman, Bandito, and Brody, which, in my opinion, like they
don't know what to do with those three guys. So like, let's put them in a trio.
They fucked Hangman royally, so it's all over for me.
See,
Like,
I mean, maybe they win just so he can be on All In.
I love Hangman, so it just pisses me off. Anyway, moving on. Mark
They
Davis.
got enough titles.
Mark Who Davis taking on everyone's favorite Will Ospreay. No outside interference in a Mexico Street. Wait, what? No outside interference, Mexico City street fight. How can you have no interference but still have a street fight?
It's AEW, dude. It doesn't make sense. And Ospreay better win because Mark Davis is so fucking below mid. It's not even funny.
Tomorrow, also on the card, we've got a #1 spot. Why would you want the #1 spot in a casino gauntlet match?
Because you can end the match at any time.
No, I understand that, but that just seems like I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, it realistically, it is good in terms of the way they book it because they're not going to end the match immediately. It doesn't look good.
Right. Well, you got everyone's favorite Tommaso Ciampa taking on Andrade El Idolo, who loves the ladies. And then, of course, everyone's favorite, especially JC's Commander.
Go Andrade. The other two can fucking kick rocks.
There you go. Moving on. Another fucking match. Jesus Christ.
How long is this show?
I don't know. It says it started at 8 sharp, so we'll see how long. We've got I Am Jericho, Darby Allin, and everyone's favorite Mystico taking on Kevin the Jet. He's not important at all. Rainmaker Okada and that other Lucha Libre guy, Ray Hekiro. I don't know. Hakiro? I don't know. Whatever. Terrible at names.
Well, that's the guy that Don Callis loves. Fuck, I don't remember what the guy's name is, but
it's almost as bad as me. Almost.
You're saying it wrong. No, but I'm not looking at it.
I know. Well, you're better at these things than I am.
Yeah,
so
because I can read.
Listen, hooked on phonics, work it for me. Okay. There you go. Okay.
Eso no hablo español.
Yeah. I can't even talk anyway. I got fucking everything in my mouth. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, here you go. These are, I think we said everything else, but this other match, trios, they love the damn trios match.
How long is this fucking show?
Well, they got to get everybody on the card. We already talked about the 8-man. We have a trios match, another trios match, and then another trios for the women, as we've got Willow and the Brawling Birds against Mercedes and Divine Dominion, which, whatever, it'll be a great match, but this is a nothing sauce thing for me. So I just like, oof, okay. Nothing and nothing and nothing and nothing. Nothing across.
So what you're telling me is there's nothing on this card worth watching.
I mean, I'm very, very harsh, but like, I'm sorry. I don't care about a fucking street fight with Will Ospreay and his old running buddy. I don't give a shit about the #1 contender spot. I don't give a shit about multi-trio fucking matches. You want to give me a great match? I'm sure Kyle Fletcher, Mike Bailey will be a great wrestling match.
Yeah, don't care. This card is shit.
Speedball. So,
shit. I might not even tune in.
Arena Mexico is cool though. I mean, if they do it in
whatever.
Mexico.
I'll watch the clips online. Save me some time.
Right. So,
all right, let's get out of here.
All right. On that note,
tired.
JC's very tired from eating all birthday cake. On that note, thank you for listening and watching the Jobber Knocker podcast. We'll be back next week with some more Jobber Knockery.